Don't you know they're talking about a revolution? Sounds
why the bailout won't work and what we need to do. Recently, the government approved a $700 billion bailout of the banks and other wealthy speculators. Among the people, there is a mixture of anger and fear. Anger that the speculators are being bailed out, and fear over where the economy is headed. The government is trying desperately to save a dying economic system. We must also see that the corporations are moving to gain complete control of our society and run it entirely in their interest. To understand why the proposed bailout won't work and is not in the workers' interests, we need to see what is really at the root of the crisis. With the advent of computers and robots, more and more production is carried on with fewer and fewer workers. Millions of jobs have been permanently eliminated or reduced to part-time, contingency, or low-wage jobs. This has produced an unprecedented polarity of wealth and poverty. At one end of society are millions who are cast out of the economy and are struggling to survive on little or no work. At the other end is a tiny class of billionaires and the corporations they control. It is the elimination of jobs and the corresponding destruction of the market that is at the root of the crisis and the global economic depression we now see developing. As more production is done with less labor, there is practically no actual productive capacity, such as a factory, for the wealthy and the corporations to invest in. A relatively handful of mines, mills, factories, and giant farms spread around the world can produce everything that humanity can consume. With nothing productive to invest in that will actually give them a profit, the corporations have turned to speculation. In effect, they make money by gambling, by buying and selling all kinds of exotic financial instruments. And most of the speculation has been carried on with trillions of dollars of borrowed money. Now we are seeing trillions of dollars in value wiped out as the financial house of cards built by speculation collapses. The fact is that most of these financial instruments really have no value. This is because the underlying real economy, where real economic value is created by human labor power in the production process, is being destroyed by replacing human labor with computers and robots. You can't continue to have a market economy when the market, which consists of people with jobs and the money to buy things, is being destroyed. And that problem is not going to be fixed by bailing out the speculators. For all practical purposes, the corporations have merged with the government, and their ultimate aim is to use the power of the government to reconstruct society in the way most profitable to them. They don't care whether the workers live or die. They are fully prepared to use the power and financial resources of the government to nationalize private property, so long as it's done in a way that suits their interests. We are seeing this in the bailout of the banks and speculators. The corporations will end up with the wealth, and we, the people, will still be scrambling to survive. What is going to be done to guarantee food, clothing, housing, healthcare, energy, education, transportation, and the other necessities of modern life for the workers? Where is our bailout? Modern methods of production mean that it is now possible to have a society organized around meeting people's needs, where what we produce is distributed according to need and not according to how much money you have. We can have a society where no one is homeless or hungry or does without health care. As a step in that direction, we need to demand that certain industries, including the financial industry, be nationalized in such a way that we can guarantee that people's day-to-day needs are met. This means we must confront corporate control of the government. It is supposed to be our government, and we must demand that it represent our interests. The future is up to us.
Sitting around, waiting for a promotion. Don't you know, talking about a revolution sounds a whisper. And finally the tables are starting to turn, talking about a revolution. Yes, finally the tables are starting to turn, talking about a revolution. Oh no, talking about a revolution. Oh no, talking about a revolution.